the Toronto Raptors are 1-7 over their last 8 games. Such a fall from grace. What happened? We were killing it. We were winning like 8-9 games in a row. And now the Knicks have destroyed us again. The Knicks are off to Vegas. They get to go gamble. The Raptors, we got to stay home. And there's been some glaring issues, which we're going to drop into. We're going to discuss today. But first of all, let's just say the Raptors lost that game. What was it? 117 to 101. And this game was just rough. It was just that first quarter. It looked like it was going to be a banger. It looked like it was going to be a great day. And we had a duel between Brunson. We had a duel between Ingram. And they looked great. But then that second quarter, 13 points. I think it was 13 points. That was an awful second quarter. And the main issue I have with this Raptors team, even as a Raptors fan, is that one, our center rotation is pretty bad right now. Jakob Poeltl does not look like himself right now. He looks really hobbled. He looks still injured. And we don't really have a backup center because we haven't really drafted a backup center when we could have. We could have drafted Derek Queen on the Pelicans this year, but we didn't. But never mind that. We need to trade for a center. Now, the reason we lost, a big part of the reason that we lost to the Knicks yesterday was because they just simply out-rebounded us. Even if I just look at the stats real quick, we could see, the Knicks had 48 rebounds, Raptors had 37 rebounds. We basically got out-rebounded by 11 rebounds, and that's what the Knicks do. The Knicks have been the number one offense in these NBA Cup games, and we knew heading into this the Raptors were the number one. They were the number one defense. And defensively, the Raptors looked good at the start of this game, and it just slowly fell apart. And I'm really just concerned about our wings as well. Our wing depth. I'd say that's the main two things this team needs to address. Our center rotation. Our wings are kind of weak right now. So Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji have not been great this season. I mean, Ochai hasn't even got a lot of playing time, but we also need to adjust. I mean, our starting lineup is very, very expensive right now. And one thing I've noticed is that we re-signed Jakob. And if Jakob is going to continue to play like this contract is going to get bad real quick. So I'm looking at here, right? We re-signed him an extra 3 years. So he's going to be with us until 2029. And he's going to be getting $30 million? $30 million in 2029? When he's, 34, 35? Oh, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough. But let's just talk Brandon Ingram. Scotty has just been a bit rough these past few games. I'm just going to summarize it real quick. Brandon Ingram has been pretty great these past few games, but the Raptors have just not had, we just haven't been healthy. Obviously, our schedule's been kind of compacted recently, where we had 7 games in 11, 12 days. And we're struggling. We're 1-8. We got peaks and we got valleys, and we're in the valley right now. So we got to try and figure out a way how to crawl out of this slump. Because just like the past 2 years I've watched this team, I have to see the Raptors go through scoring droughts. And that's why I was kind of happy when we traded for Brandon Ingram, because he is a bucket getter. But why was there just 3 possessions in the second quarter where Brandon Ingram did not get the ball? Brandon Ingram or Scotty Barnes. Scotty wasn't great this game, but either those two guys need to touch the ball every possession. We're not going to win these games. And I know this Raptors team, how we even got to when we were the second seed, was because our elite playmaking, our great defense, and obviously we're missing RJ a lot. RJ has been a big factor, but it's like if we're missing one player and then we lose 7 games without that player, it just highlights other issues with this team. Grady Dick, our shooter that we drafted, is shooting 30% from 3 this year. And I want to believe in Grady because he showed us some flashes early around this time last year when he was dropping like 25 points a game in like a 5-game stretch. Like, I want Grady, I want Oche to be, we need them to be better. We need them to, if they play better, I think the rest of the team will follow suit. And I think sometimes that assist, that pass first, that ball movement mindset can be a detriment to this team. Look, for example, there was a play, I think in the second quarter, where Jamal Shed he made some space from, I think it was Brunson. And instead of just taking that easy floater, he passed it off. And that led to a turnover. And our turnovers this game weren't great. And I like Shed. I like Jamal Shed a lot. He's one of my favorite bench players, and I'm very happy that this team now has a functioning bench. Our bench in the past was not good. It's decent now. And, a lot of people, I might make a video on specifically the AD trade, on his destinations, on whether the Raptors should trade for Anthony Davis or a, Daniel Gafford or a Jared Allen. And before I had a Derek Lively, but he's out for the season now. And so it's just kind of frustrating. And I want to give a huge shout out to the Knicks. The Knicks killed it this game. Jalen Brunson, he's just elite. He could not miss that first quarter. And something that's got me concerned is Darko Rajokovic, might have butchered that. He said, I treated this like a playoff game. If you're treating this like a playoff game, why is Chucky Hepburn getting minutes? And that's no disrespect to Chucky. I'm just wondering, why is he getting minutes? If we're trying to treat this like a playoff game and we're playing a two-way player who has barely gotten, he hasn't got a lot of PT, it's like, what are we doing here? And looking at some of this stuff, Jakob Poeltl, 10 points, 9 rebounds, minus 18. Scotty wasn't great, but I mean, it's just, I don't know what the direction of this team is. And I really, really want to know. But let's talk about the Knicks now, because the Knicks have really, in our first matchup against the Knicks, they really just hit every single three on the planet, and they blew us out. In this game, the same thing happened in the other 3 quarters, where I don't know how the Raptors scored 39 in the first quarter, then proceeded to drop 13? What are we doing? But back to the Knicks. Josh Hart was fantastic this game. Defensively, the Knicks had what was it? They only had 13 turnovers compared to the Raptors. Well, 13, but they felt like they scored a lot more points off these turnovers, as well as they just shot better from 3, 46%, 16 for 36, 35, compared to the Raptors, 28%. And it's just I haven't watched a ton of Knicks games, but this was just Jordan Clarkson had some good minutes, good OG, even OG and Cat was in foul trouble, and we couldn't take advantage of that. And the Knicks, they won those Brunson off minutes. Those were the minutes that the Raptors needed to win, and the Knicks, this goes to show that their improvements in their depth and their bench over the offseason over the previous offseason has helped. But yeah, we have to take advantage of, any team has to take advantage of those Brunson-less minutes. If Jalen Brunson's not on the floor, and if the Knicks are winning in those minutes with Brunson off the floor, this team is going to go all the way. This team will be going to the finals. Now, Cat didn't have a great game. He was in foul trouble. But still, he just he bullied Jakob. And, oh man, it's tiring. I mean, shout out to the Knicks. I wish you the best against the Magic. That's going to be a fun game. And I don't really know. I want to get back to the Raptors, because that's what I'm focused on. This is the Raps in 6, the Raptors. I don't even know where to go from here. 1-8? 1-8? Come on, 1-8. If we lose another game, I'm going to be very sad. I can't. But hey, at least we're still in the playoffs right now. But the way the East is looking, if we drop a couple more games, we're going to drop from wherever we are, 5 to 9 really quick. And that's a little bit worrying. Very worrying, because the Magic are starting to get it figured out. The Knicks they're good. They're a great team. the Cavs, the Hawks are, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So let me know. What did you think of the Raptors this game? What do you think needs to change? What do you think? Should the Raptors trade for AD? Should we trade for a different center? Or should we focus on a more point guard specific thing? I know a lot of people have said, at least I've heard, should the Raptors consider trading for one of LaMelo, Ja Morant, Trae Young? Those are 3 point guards that are available that I think are all upgrades over Emmanuel Quickley. But it's just like, I don't really want to give up that many assets to get one of these players. Like, I don't want to have to give up 2 first-round picks to get Anthony Davis. That's just way too high a cost for a player who's injury-prone. But Jakob's basically injury-prone, so it is a direct upgrade. And AD is a lot better than Jakob offensively because we don't have a stretch 5. And I think a lot of teams, at least the center, can at least shoot a little bit, can make jumpers, can shoot whatever, like 30% from 3, which is decent. Jakob doesn't shoot. And so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. I'm not just doing videos on the Raptors. Raptors are the primary team, but, we're going to cover the other teams as well. Of course, I'll do probably a later, more in-depth video on the Knicks because they've just been so great as of recent. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one.